Welcome back to Page to Picture, the podcast where books come to life on screen and in conversation. I am your host, Kim. And today we are sitting down with Jalen Tellis, an independent author known for fast paced, genre bending stories that blend emotion, tension, and cinematic energy. His work spans sci fi, fantasy, and horror with standout titles like Incursion, Samurai Reborn, The Black Samurai, and Behind Closed Eyes. Jalen writes with raw instinct and originality, building entire worlds in his head and bringing them to life with urgency and heart. We are excited to dive into his process, his inspiration, and the stories that he has created. Jalen, welcome to Page to Picture.
Hi, hello everyone. I first of all, thank you so much for bringing me on. This is such a great opportunity, great honor. I'm very happy to be here.
Yay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's start off with the question that we love to ask every author, your origin story. How did you become an author?
Yeah, so it's actually very linear, origin. Basically, it all began like when I was 6 years old, 6 or 5. It originated from me because my older brother he used to make his own homemade like books out of like paper. And it so he I found his like these stacks of like homemade books. Like it was like 20 pieces of paper stacked each other, and then
Yeah,
like he put cardboard on top of it to like make
like
it be
really
like a
made books, like made like home books.
exactly like it was like more of like a hardcover type of thing, right? So I would read. I read every single book he ever like made, and it was like it felt like, oh, this is amazing, right? So I was like, oh, I want to do this myself. So that's when I started doing it like every day. I just every day from school, I would be in my room just putting hundreds of paper, to stack them up, stack them up, fold them up,
Yeah.
just write them handmade, and that's just how my passion and my love for writing books began.
Good.
Years down the line, I started writing my own like comics, screenplays even then. And then I even wrote a play at like 10 years old. I even wrote like my own play.
Oh my
It,
God.
and years later, when I was 16, I did short films. I written and directed short films around for like a little bit until, I'm like, okay, I want to, bring back that passion again and,
Hmm.
write my first book, like actually like publish a actual
Yeah.
book. So that's how I began to write my first book, Samurai Reborn, with the Black Samurai. And
Hmm.
then between that, the rest is history. Now we're here.
Oh my God. Okay. So are you like a movie fanatic then? Like, is that what you, before writing books, like you said you did like, you wrote little like plays and little like movies? Like, is that something you love as well as writing books?
Yeah, I always enjoyed, visually, seeing motion pictures, and it really drawn me into wanting to write stories instead.
Hmm.
Besides books, I've always loved writing things in different formats in art and
Yeah.
creativity. So like, I would love writing plays, screenplays, books, even, movies like that. So when I wrote, my short films, it was a way that I could really challenge my writing where like, okay, this is not a book, this is a screenplay where it's more different and me
Right.
working with actors and, really challenge my creativity in a way where I guess I could say I mastered two formats in a way where like, okay,
Yeah.
when I transitioned to being an author, it was hard because I still had that screenwriter mindset. So it took
Yep.
me a while to like, integrate myself into author. So
I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah, my husband, he went to school for film and videography, and that's what he's in. He's in like the film industry right now. And one of his projects, he had to like create a short story, like a video, a movie, right?
yeah.
And he was like, I am not a good screenplay writer. And he's like, can you help me? And I was like, I've never, I will not even pretend like I'm a writer. I was like, that is not me, but I will do my best. I learned it with him. And it's like, it's a certain way to screen when you write out like a screenwrite a story, right? You have interior, exterior, like this is who it is. This is like how it's written out. And so I'm sure moving from that to like an author and writing a book, you had to kind of like change a lot, right? You're just
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like, "Ah, I gotta add a little bit more stuff."
it was definitely a very difficult transition,
Yeah.
but I've learned the way I can finally say right now that I am more comfortable now that I now fully I can switch to a author, screenwriter, and
Yeah.
have no,
Yeah.
I fully mastered two formats of it. Even with when I was doing screenplays, it was very fun, because I see it as like screenplays. I feel like because I remember someone asked me like, what's harder, writing a book or writing a screenplay? I would say writing a book is harder.
Yeah.
Screenplays. I see screenplays more of the the blueprint of the actual
Yes.
film, right? And only you and your team can only read script. It's only like a more telling than showing.
Mhm.
With a book, you have to be very detailed because your visual sense is within the words in the pages. So you have to
Yes.
immerse these scenes with how you write, with how you bring yourself to life and bring these stories to life with the books and the action, how the characters are feeling, like the
Mhm.
smell, the taste, the sense, everything. It has to be precise and very descriptive. So
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, when I read your, incursion, I could definitely visualize everything that was happening. Like, the detail you put into that story, if as I'm reading, if there was, like, a projector and it was, like, shooting off what I was reading, you could see it was very detailed. I wasn't lost. I was in it, the emotions of everything. Like, I was sitting in my room, lights off on my Kindle Unlimited, like, just, like, going and going. I was like, "What is gonna happen?" This is, like the way you tell the story is just so good, and you are definitely immersed in your stories, and I honestly cannot wait to read more of your books because if just off one book, if I'm that immersed and I just love it that much, I can't wait to read your other books as well, so,
thank you so
well
much.
done, well
Thank you so
done.
much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So you do have 3 books out, right now. Where did you find the inspiration for those books? Because each one is different, right?
Yeah.
They're not all the same. So where do you find the inspiration for, I guess, just your storytelling in general?
Uh, so, well, I've always, like I said, been doing this for my whole life. Actually, it's been my whole life. Like my whole life is writing, and I guess it comes from a place of human connection. I have. It's very hard to explain because I it comes from within, it comes from
Mhm,
myself. And of course I drew inspiration from other medias, of course, and usually I try to, to put my own spin to it
mhm.
with where I write everything. It because I've observed life a lot, when growing up, I always see my views and the world that I live in, and then just see how other people react, how they think, how they move, how they react to certain things, and it really drew me into the psychological emotion of the human being, and the world that we live in, and how it can it could be good or bad, and how can we show our flaws, show our, our strengths. So, and I like with incursion, like literally that story has been, I said this a lot. It's been on my mind since I was 14 years old.
My
I've always,
gosh.
I've always wanted to write a sci-fi story that tells with aliens. And I just never knew at the time, I just never knew how I was going to write this. Like,
Yeah.
is it going to be a movie? Is it going to be a book? Is it going to be like, I didn't know until when I published Serial Born, I was like, you know what? Let's make this a book. So I've done so much research on a lot of things, and then I've really there's no media that I aspire to. That idea literally came from within, came from my
Yeah.
mind, came from
Wow.
wanting to do a sci-fi story and wanted to take on the grounded level of a sci-fi thriller that deals with aliens and men
Mhm.
in black and just the unknown secrets that our world has kept from us for a long time. I want to deal with that because I can tell that that's have never been done before in literature.
Yeah.
I wanted to really be the first person to like, have that in literature. Cause I always say people like, this is not a story about aliens. It's not a story about, UFOs, whatever. No, this is a story about going how far would you go to,
Yes.
knowing the truth about our world and, about the unknown, about secrecy and
Mhm.
just are you willing to are you willing to handle the true nature of what we've been kept? Like
Yeah.
what like that's beyond our knowledge, right? And
Yeah.
that's what the whole story was built on. And that really just made me like, oh, this story is so complex, so fire. And even I was very scared to write it because I'm like, this story is so much going on. But I say to people that if a story scares you a lot, then that story needs to be out because that story
Yes.
be read. And same with Samurai Born, the Black Samurai. I've always loved, I'm
Yeah.
a an nerd.
Yeah.
So I drew inspiration from Aang, the Last Airbender, Demon Slayer,
Mhm.
uh, and just really fell in love with the culture of Japan, Japanese culture and anime culture. So, and wanted to tell a story, a grounded story about self discovery, legacy, and honor within a warrior that is flawed, that is going through grief, that going through a cycle of revenge. You can obviously see how his past can immersed with him and seeing how can he go from where he starts from the beginning of the book to where he is at the
Mhm.
end. In Bianco's Eyes, literally my love letter to horror. I'm a big
Yeah.
horror. I grew up watching horror all my life, so I just wanted to pay homage, pay honor to the genre, and wanted to make a very grounded level supernatural story that
Mhm.
can feel like this is like a classic horror vibe. It's like, oh man, this is like something that came from the 90s.
Yeah. I'm very excited to read both of those. They are definitely on my TBR list. Once I read Incursion, I gotta read these other books. I really want to, and I am going to. I swear I am. Because if your writing is anything like if it, like Incursion, I know I'm gonna love it, and I love that it's different genres, right? It's not all you're not like all 3 are all sci-fi or all 3 are based off horror. Like, they're each its own, and I love that.
Yeah,
I love that there's a range for your
thank you so
writing.
much. Thank you. Yeah, and that's what I want, because at first in the beginning of my career, like beginning of my author journey, I was like, should I start as like because I wanted at first it wanted to be just like a horror author, wanted to do horror, just all horror, right, and have that. But I was like, no, that's like because I just know that it's gonna be boring,
You're
doing
like,
the
"I
same
don't wanna just
thing.
do that. I will have other stuff I wanna do."
Exactly. It's like, I want to write sci-fi, I want to write other things.
Yeah,
So that's
and you
that's
don't
what
wanna write it all in one book because then sometimes that's just, like, too much if you
yeah,
include, like, 4 different genres in one book. It's like, sometimes it's a little too much. So, I applaud you for just kinda you're just truly you're like, "I'm just gonna write what I wanna write," and that's just
exactly.
me.
Yeah,
That's me as the
that
author.
that's literally me. I want to write what I want to write.
Yeah,
And that's my and that's literally my brand is like I am a multi-genre author.
yeah,
I write whatever. If I have a story in mind, if that's gonna be a sci-fi story, man, sci-fi story. If it's gonna be a
yeah,
horror. Is it with fantasy? Who knows? Like that's just how I
right.
because it brings more of a exciting for me. 'Cause like, oh my god, this is something I want to do. I'm very excited because and then I know that my audience is not going to expect this at all. It's like, oh my god,
Yes.
what is he gonna do next? Is he gonna do a fantasy, another horror? Like, is he really gonna do that? That question is that like that what's the word? Wondering like, oh, what's he
Yes.
next, right? And that's what I like. I like to have a unexpected surprise, right?
Yeah.
And for like because of my upcoming third novel, which is a Western dark fantasy horror story, and
Yes.
it's like that was different. Like I've never done Western. Like I
That
like
is cra
literally so
okay, that's great. Yes, because that's one of my questions here. It's, like, about your upcoming work. So, you have a new book coming out. Looked at it, I was like, "Okay, we're going into Western, like, this is, like, something that's not like the other 3 books."
yeah.
What can you tell our listeners about this book? Because it's not out yet, right?
Yeah, no, no.
So what can you share with us? Like, what is the title of this book? What is it about? Like, what can you give us?
Okay, sure. So, my third novel is called West of Damnation, the Book of Malcolm. It is a biblical dark fantasy western horror novel, and is about it takes place in the year 1911, in the dying days of the American frontier. It's about a black outlaw named Malcolm Carter
Mhm.
who who has a job to deliver this unknown box to a town called Hollow Hill for a exchange of freedom. So he goes there, and then this town, surprisingly, it seems weird. It seems off. It's like the people there seems like unnatural,
Yeah.
and everything is seems like dead, right? And till you know it, the town is infested with vampires, and
My god, your book is like a video game. That is exactly what I think of when you're describing it. I'm like, it is like a video game. You're like, turn it into a game, please. That'd be
that is
awesome.
so that is so hilarious. I love that. I love that. So that is amazing. I love that. But yes, that's basically the plot of it. Malcolm, he has a very degrading journey
Mhm.
from his past mistakes, and he does his job to exchange for for his freedom
Mhm.
and for a chance of redemption. And he has to confront not only these vampires, but he also has to confront his past sins. And the story is basically about faith, about redemption, about freedom. And it this story, I because when I first began to write this story, like, I didn't really, because this came from after encouraging Backwards Eyes, and I didn't really knew where else where I would go, like, because I had this mindset right before, and then this would kind of mess me a little bit. Like, how can I top encouragement? How can I top
Yeah.
these books? That was the raw must to have. I should have never had that mindset where how can I top these two stories?
Mhm.
Because then every idea that I had, it wasn't like, oh my, I didn't know this idea is not working out. So I kind of changed it. Like, okay, I'm gonna just write whatever. I'm gonna just think of an idea, not force it, just let it happen, right? And
Yeah.
that's when I thought about it. Like, oh wait, a Western story in the old West, vampires. I'm
I'd read
so
it.
like, I literally like
Read
that.
it. That's like even something I would watch. Like if I was like if I watched a trailer and it was like that, I'd be like, yes, please sign me up. I'm all for
Literally.
it.
And what makes it so crazy that I did my research. I tried my best. I tried my best to look at this. Like, I think this has never been done for vampires in a Western world.
Mhm.
That what I think. I may be wrong, but for what I think, like, there's never been done before. And I sat in his chair. I sat in his chair. I was like this, thinking, like, wait, what the heck? This, whoa, okay, bet. So for weeks, I've just consumed Western content, did my research on the old West,
Yeah.
and how they talked, what happened during the history of it. And it- now now I really consumed it with the actual, not the, like, how the media um how they portrayed the old West.
Mhm.
I actually wanted to make sure this was like, yeah, you're in the actual realism of the old West back in the
Right.
day. So obviously, like, my inspirations came from Red Dead Redemption, and
That's exactly why I said your thing reminds me of a video game because of Red Dead Redemption. I am so serious. That's just
literally,
like, no, your
and
book is like a video game.
and then it's like, because I love Red Dead Redemption. That game
Yeah.
is amazing. One and two, amazing. And I like, this is a perfect time to just go back and rewatch the freaking game and
You're
just
like, I'm gonna replay because I'm doing research for my book. Okay, so let me
literally,
just give you the
I did it hours, and then the other research I really got inspired to was Sinners and
yes.
the old thing. So that kind of inspired me to write the story as well, and then from my personal sense, like, wanting to turn this book into a biblical story, like, because it's definitely my personal story yet. Like, it's very personal to me, and it really comes from within.
Mhm.
I it's spent 4 months writing the story, and it's been, I don't know, when I typed the end, it it left something like, I don't know, like I almost wanted to cry because
Oh, no,
it was some it was it may sound corny, I'm sorry, but
no,
it's
it's like
definitely,
bittersweet.
it was, and I had to like sit back and like, man, like, because the 4 months of me writing this, it was definitely because I immersed myself with all my stories. I it was definitely a journey that was worth experiencing
Hmm.
because, for one, it's my first time writing something that is in like a old period, and it was fun. It was great. I loved it. Like going through the old West times, the Making Frontier times, like in the year 1911, like it was freaking amazing. Like it was fun.
You're like, I love this is you're like, I'm very excited for this book to come out. You're like, I'm
I'm
ready for
excited.
everyone to read it.
Literally on what's Friday yesterday, I just sent off my draft to my editor, so it's currently being edited right now, and so I'm excited.
When are we hoping for the release of this book?
The release date is July 28th.
Oh boy, this is a long way, but we got time.
The
That is
long
gonna
wait,
be, oh my
but
god, it's gonna be
it's
it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be so
um,
good.
it'll be worth the wait. I promise. Like
Yeah.
I cannot wait for people to read this story. I cannot wait because it's so good. I cannot wait. All right.
Honestly, I cannot wait. That's definitely up our alley. Like if you do arcs, I will be on your arc team and I will read it and review it. Like I'm very
Well,
excited.
hey, you know what? Say that. I got you. I'll put you my list.
Yes, I'm
I'll
excited.
put you my
Oh my
list.
gosh. No, it really sounds interesting. Like I've never read a book like that. You obviously read books, vampires. I don't think I've ever read any kind of Western book. I've never found one that like intrigued me, but yours, I am intrigued by it, definitely. I
Yeah,
can't
thank
wait
you
to
so
read
much.
it.
Thank you. And that's what I want to do. I want to, cause like, honestly, the vampire thing, and I like, honestly, we all know the old school folklore of vampires,
Right.
right? I wanted to, have my own take. I wanted to have my own interpretation of, vampires in this. And I wanted to, make sure the story, even though not a lot of people read Western, I wanted to be like, oh, wait, this story's interesting with vampires. Or to say less. Even though someone be like, I don't really read Westerns, but this story right here, I want to read this.
Yeah. You're like, look, you may not read Western and that's fine, but that's just the time and place of this. There's more to it than just Western, but you will enjoy it.
I honestly, yes, like literally. And again, I can't wait because I I don't know, man. I just think this story is gonna be something that could, I don't know. I don't want to say too soon, but
Yeah.
I just think this story needs to be released, and I
Yeah.
cannot wait. I keep saying this. I can't wait for everyone to do
My
it.
God, you are so excited about it. I can see it in your face. I can hear it in your voice.
I'm
And
gonna
that
hold
makes
it
me
in.
even more.
I'm gonna
You're
hold
like,
it in. Like,
finally, someone's asking me. Like, I've been trying to tell people.
this is the
No,
first interview, first right here to talk about the book. So I'm just
I am
excited.
so honored. I am so honored. And let me tell you right now, Jalen, when that book does come out, I'm going to have you back on the podcast because I got to talk to you about it when it does come out.
For
So,
sure. Go down,
already
please.
got you bugged. We're going to have you come back onto this podcast for sure.
And for a little, before a little bit, I want, because like I've already released a review with the cover already on there, but I want to show you on the cover that this is the cover for the book right
It
here.
looks so good. It totally
Then
is giving me Red Dead Redemption vibes. So good. Shout out to your artist. That is so good. Oh my god, I can't wait. We're talking about a book. I have no idea what it's like. I haven't even read it yet. I'm just like so excited for it already. That's amazing.
thank you so much.
I want to know, so because you have a lot of, your books are very different, but when an idea comes to you, with your books, what usually comes first? Like the character, the world, the conflict? Are you like a plotter when you come to writing your books? Are you a pantser? Are you someone who just like writes on the fly and you're like, the characters will tell me where I need to take this story? Or are you someone who like plots it and you're like, no, this is like how I'm going to do this story? Like, what is your writing style like?
Yeah, so I am a pantser. I don't like to outline. I don't
Yeah.
outline my book. I respect to anybody who does outline, respects, okay?
Yeah.
But I just hate outlining. I just don't like it. So I literally just rely on my brain to just reveal the story to me. And
Mhm.
I don't I literally I don't sit and brainstorm. No. I just, whatever idea come literally, and this is like a gift and a curse. I think of ideas every day, and it's kind of annoying because like I mean I'm in my head all the time.
Yeah.
Like the idea pops in and then all the time, and I can develop a story in my head from beginning to end, and
Mhm.
just how I visually see the story playing out through the characters, through the dialogue, and through everything that's going on from the beginning and through the middle, and like this a linear structure that I just rely on that, the concept and the plot and the characters and just and two like how their arc is. Like I already know their arc from just the jump and
Right.
how can this story like the message, the themes and how it can, does the story make sense for me? And then if
Right.
and for me like if a story um sticks in my mind for as long as possible, then okay, this is a story that needs to be writing right now.
Yeah.
So I do not like sit down, take notes. No, I just okay, bet I'm gonna take some time to just let the story unfold itself. Because literally, yeah, as a writer, when I write, I let my stories lead me. I'm the follower. They're my leader. I let them lead me. They unfold themselves where I write. I take it as if like I'm the reader. I'm reading the story as I write,
I love
and
that.
I get surprised
Yeah,
when
I bet. You're like, "Where did this come from?" You're
where
like, "What a twist. I had no idea this was happening."
exactly, and then reason why I love just making ideas in my head because literally I can have the original idea and write it down and write it as I'm writing it when I'm working, but then the next day when I'm at work or when I'm outside,
Mhm.
pick up a new idea out of nowhere.
Right.
This idea is amazing. So it gets stuck in my head, come back home in my office and write it. And then it's better. It's so much better than the original. So I write it. So that's kind of why I don't like outlining because not that because usually I don't want to go off from the outlining thing because I just know that a new idea will come after
Yeah.
and that crap. So that's why okay, yeah, no.
You're like, "The better idea is gonna come. It comes in stages, but it will eventually come, and that's the one that's kinda gonna stick," right?
Literally, yeah. And so that's what it is, like it just sticks.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in bad ideas. I think the good idea will come when a random thing happens. The good idea always comes just out of nowhere
Yeah.
because of how your environment is,
Mhm.
or you grew inspiration from something, or something like an event happens. Like, oh wait, this can be good for a story.
Yeah.
That's why like when people ask me, like how can I get inspired from the story? I would say, well, the main thing to grow inspiration is to not force it.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything. Just live your life
It'll
as
come to you.
yeah, come to you. It will literally come to you. I promise. Like you think it's not, it will. Like it will come to you. Just don't think about it. Don't force it. Just let it happen naturally. Because those are the best stories ever.
I
The
love
ones
that.
that comes in a natural sense and like a crazy random time, boom, right there.
I love it, and it's so true. So my sister, who is the co-host of this podcast, who is not here today, she is an indie author herself, and whenever I see her, we hang out. We always like riff off random stories. Like we'll be watching like a UFC fight, and her and I will just like go off on this random like story, and somehow we've talked about like an entire plot of a new story, and she will like go home and she'll text me. She's like, I'm starting like a romance about UFC fighters. She's like, just because of our conversation. I'm like, okay,
See,
like, all right. Like, we watched Lord of the Rings the other day, and I was doing like a fanfic off of like Dumbledore from Harry Potter
okay.
and Homeboy from Lord of the Rings. And she was like, I'm going on my fanfic and I'm writing a full story. And I was like, what are you doing? She's like, it just comes. She's like, the stories, they just will come to you. And I was like, "I guess." She's like, "It does. You can have any random conversation, one event can happen, and a story will just, like, come." And she's like, "And then I just have to write it down." So it's true, like, just let it will come to you guys. It'll come. The stories will come to you.
will come to you honestly, and that's just how all my books just begin because just I thought about it in my head and then no different. Like it would never change at all. I just love it because those are the best
Yeah.
stories to make. Oh my god, literally, like I can say from honestly, with of like my third novel, it just literally came from the love of watching Sinners and love of Red Dead Redemption, and just the concept was so like intense. Like, oh wow, this is fire. Like a western with
Yeah.
cars. Like, hold up, this is nah, yeah.
Very excited. I'm very excited for your next story.
Thank you so much.
Let's take a moment and talk about the story I did read, Incursion, okay?
Encouraging.
So, I read that in one sitting, and that book had me hooked, I will tell you. It was giving me, like, Men in Black meets Super 8. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Super 8, but, like, that was the vibe it was giving me. I was really hooked on this entire story, and our listeners are probably like, "What the hell are you guys talking about?" Can you tell our listeners just a little bit about what this book is about?
Yeah, of course. And let me hold on. Let me get the book right now. So
Yeah, you're good.
this is Incursion, my first
Yes.
um Incursion. This is a sci-fi mystery thriller where a YouTube theorist named Riley Marson goes on a quest to find the missing ufologist called his name is Timothy Hall. The farther he goes, he finds out that there's a potential alien invasion that is happening in 10 days.
Mhm.
So Riley is in a fast-paced journey to try to warn the world about the invasion before the clock ticks down.
Yeah. And it's not like you had mentioned, it's not like a sci-fi, like the aliens are not like the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you're really following him and his journey to find the answers. And then the people he meets along the way trying to find the answer. And then also just him realizing like how far will I go? Like there's so many things. Everything he's doing, there's like repercussions from it, right? There's like something is happening. And it truly is like, how far will I go to get this information to find out what happened and to share with everybody? Like, there are multiple times in this book where it's like, "You better stop. You better not do this." And he homeboy is like, "I think I'm gonna do it." And I'm
No,
just like, "You're wild." It's
yeah,
like,
and
"What?"
that is one of the reasons why I love Riley so much because of how real it is, how realistic he is. Like
Yeah.
it will make you as a reader feel like annoyed, like okay, this guy's annoying me. Like why are you doing this?
Yes. You're
But
like, "Why would you still do it? But please keep doing it because I want it, but I wanna know what's gonna happen."
and
Do
that's
it.
the point of it. Riley is human. He's a human
Yeah.
being. He's human like all of us. We all make dumb choices every day. And as you see, you're seeing a real life human being making dumb choices, but he's doing it with good intentions.
Yeah.
And what I find amazing about this book is that it comes with the right time because I love the fact that, Riley, who is a big time creator, he does conspiracy videos on YouTube. He's
Right.
very popular, and he's in this modern world where technology is advancing a lot.
Mhm.
And because the sole question is that what will happen if people nowadays find out there's an alien invasion happening in 10
Yeah.
days? React. That's what made me like it is. This story, yeah, because how would the modern society react? Like, how would people? Because remember, we have AI now. We have Photoshop.
Yeah.
These can be fake. So, like, will people take this seriously? That's why this story is important because this tells you like that's why Riley had like how am I going to tell these people? Like, people gonna think that's not real. It's not like people gonna say
Right.
fake. That is the most scariest part because of like modern society and how much these can be easily faked and easily just manipulated.
Yeah.
Right? And the fact is that in this book it tells like the unknown for truth and the quest for truth and just how far will you go to figure out the truth about our world. And because of course, like, we don't know much about where the earth we live in because how, secrets in with
Mhm.
the higher ups within the
Mhm.
government. And that's why the story was so grounded because it dealt with that. It talks about that. It talks about knowing, not knowing everything, but like, is it the best thing to not know everything? Because
Right.
is it the best? Is it best for us not to know all of it? Because how will we react to it? How us humans can react to the truth beyond the truth? Like, how
Yeah.
will we be scared? Will we not understand? Because mind you, we fear what we don't understand,
Yeah.
and if we try to understand it, it will mess up us mentally. Like
Right.
it would become so overwhelming that it was.
It was crazy. It was a crazy ride. It truly was. And when you think it's gonna go some way, it does. It goes a completely opposite way. And it's so good. And then you've got his friend or the person who's helping him record. Is it Richard?
Richard, yeah, Richard Simons,
He's
yeah,
there and he would be like, you're either Richard or you're the main character. Like either you're somebody who's gonna go find the story or you're gonna be like, nah, dude, like we found the story cool, but like I don't want to I want to pretend like I didn't even hear it. Like we don't need to tell people. I don't want repercussions. If they're going to invade, they're going to invade. Do you know what I mean? Either you're with it or you're just like, no, we're going to tell people like this is serious. We have to share it.
yeah,
Or you're someone who's scared and it's like, no, they're literally going to kill us if we tell. Like, I'm not doing that.
exactly.
And he's like, dude, we're going to die anyway. So we might as well tell them.
And that is one of the main reasons why the Men in Black as a villains in story was so amazing. Like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
because people know the Man in Black from Will Smith, the
Right,
Man,
right, right.
right? I wanted to tackle the actual realism of them, like how no, these guys are scary. These guys are not funny or can no, these guys are terrifying, and they don't play.
Yeah.
And so, and what I like about it, how their presence is known, but they're not like the full center, but they are aware, they are everywhere, and that's what
Yes.
tackle it. They don't being in the shadows, and just them lurking, and just knowing that they are listening, they can be listening to us, they can know where we are, our stuff. They know more than us about us than that they know about ourselves.
Mhm.
But when they're on the page, when they are on the page, it's terrifying, it's
Yeah.
scary, it's immersive because you don't know what they will do next at all, and
Yes.
they are one step ahead of you. It it is this story. I had so much fun writing this story. It's definitely the story was definitely a years in like the making,
Yeah.
and it definitely ties with Riley, knowing that because to him is like I know the truth about this. If I died knowing that I could have done something, I could have
Right.
moved, then I will regret it. And that's that's literally the moral complexity of him. Like you're seeing him being conflicted. Like what should
Mhm.
I do? I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to tell the truth, but I don't. I also will be in the same position as Timothy
Yeah,
was.
they're gonna take me away. Like, they're gonna kill me if I do it.
What do I do? Right. So like then you real time seeing the confliction of Riley,
Mhm.
how complex it is. So and yeah, I'm not going to say much because I want you guys to read it yourselves because it's a lot that dives
It's
in.
so good. It's so good. You can finish in one sitting like I did. It really hooks you and you're just like, "What is gonna happen?" And there's, like, a specific scene, and I don't wanna say much, but there's a specific scene, it's near, like, the end. I'll say it, but I'm gonna cut it from the podcast. I'm gonna cut it from the podcast? Okay. When they take him and they are, like, interrogating him and, like, yeah,
Yes.
I was like, "Uh" I was like, "Oh my god," and I was like, "What is happening? This is crazy," and he was like they gave him the option, they're like, "You have, like, 2 options. You can either just, like we could do to you what we did to Timothy and everybody else, or you can go into this, like, alternative world," right?
Yeah.
Like, my mind was I was like, "Duh, take the alternative world. What the hell?"
Now the ending, man, that was one of the greatest things I've ever written in my life. I'm sorry, like that was
So good.
the Dark Horizon concept was man is it was a fun thing to like develop.
Yeah.
Like knowing now that's the twist of it, and like just knowing that man, like that's beyond the truth. The Men in Black are they're you can think like they're basically like the holder, the watchers of the multiverse. They're basically like a species that
Mhm.
controls the flow of time, the flow of reality, and
Yes.
the Dark Horizon is outside of the timeline, outside of it, and whoever stays here will be slowly be erased from existence.
Yeah. It
That is
is
I ain't gonna lie to you.
crazy.
That's terrifying. And then I love the way because I really enjoy how I made them talk telepathy.
Yes, and I like the way that you wrote it out. It wasn't, like, confusing. Like, you knew, like, this is him talking, this is them talking. Like, I like the way you laid it out. 'Cause sometimes it could be confusing, right? You got a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
back and forth going on, but I
for
was
sure.
there. I was there in the room with them, okay? Like, I followed it very easily, but I was like, my mind was blown, and I'm so sad that I have to cut it from the podcast because I don't wanna give spoilers, but
Yeah.
I just have to tell you, like, that scene was so good. Like, I
Thank you so
really
much.
enjoyed
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. And I love that ending. I love it. I definitely enjoy writing that. That is one of the greatest dialogues I've ever written so far in my career because it's just the philosophy of it and just the texture of it and just how it's not action, but it's action with words, you
Oh,
know?
when they were yelling, I was yelling in my head as I'm reading it as if I was, like, acting it out for, like, somebody. Like, I was heavily involved with the dialogue. Kudos to you, that it was really, really good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You should be
Thank you.
very proud. It was very good. I was like, "Oh my god, I have to talk to him about it," because I was just like, "It's just so good." I loved it. Highly recommend that book to everybody. I give it 5 out of 5 stars, and
Thank you.
I'm not a sci-fi person. It is very hard for me to read sci-fi books. It's very hard for me, but this one, like I said, I read it in a day.
And
I loved it. It's so good and 5 out of 5. I loved it.
thank you so much. Thank you. And that means a lot. Like, and honestly, it means so much because you know how you said you don't read sci-fi, and the fact
Mhm.
story is what brought you into that. Oh man, this sci-fi story is amazing. Even though I don't read sci-fi, that like honestly, I'm so honored. I'm so like I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, like for taking the time to read my
Of
stories.
course.
It means a lot to me, and the fact that this is probably the first sci-fi story that you you usually read, rarely.
Yeah.
The fact is that you loved it. I really appreciate it,
Yeah.
and that means so much.
So good. It's so good. If someone asks me like, "Do you like sci-fi?" I'm like, "Not really, but let me tell you about this one book that I did read that was sci-fi that you guys have to read."
Thank you.
So good. Let's take a moment now to get into a little personal reflection. So, what do you hope readers walk away thinking or feeling after reading any one of your books? Like overall, like what is your overall goal when you write these books? Like what do you hope your readers walk away with, no matter what book you wrote?
Yeah, and good question. Thank you. Honestly, as a writer, I usually like to have the intentions of letting my readers interpret their own subjective, feelings of how they read the book. But like everybody's different. Everybody has a different how they feel about a book right now. So, I don't really be like, yeah, I hope my readers feel this, feel that, and then they don't. Then the book failed.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I just let my readers, my audience have their feelings and whatever you feel, that's what is meant to be.
Yeah, it's subjective, right? Reading is subjective. Like you have your own feelings with it.
And me letting my readers have that chance of having that subjective interpretation in my stories is where it could bring a very nice discussion of it. And they could take a moment where like, oh, man, like I have so many questions, I have so many thoughts, and those thoughts can be good or bad. It's what it is. That's life. And yeah, I just hope my stories bring a sense of whatever they feel, whatever they think, whatever thematic, whatever message, whatever thing they came out when reading the book is what they perceived it.
Yeah.
And that's that's what I love to do. I like having a different eye points, different viewpoints on one story. That's
Mhm.
to me that's amazing. Like to
Yeah.
know that you can interpret a different thematic message or something that you came out from when we read this book be so different than the other person.
Yeah.
Then you two can bring okay, let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. And you have different viewpoint that right there. That's what makes literature. That's what makes things like, so great
Right.
because artistic art is subjective.
Mhm.
It's amazing. Like it brings. I'm very passionate about this because I
Love it. I love it so much, and honestly, we are a podcast that not only interviews authors and helps, indie authors, but we also do book to movie or book to TV show adaptation. And my sister and I, we will read the book, we will watch whatever the adaptation is, and sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, 5 out of 5. I loved the book. I loved the movie." And my sister will be like, "Are you crazy? It was horrible." And then we get into it. And then sometimes at the end of it, she will have changed my mind about something or I will have changed her mind. Like when you share your perspective on things and you give different insights to somebody else,
yeah.
it's great. Like I could start off the episode giving it like, "No, this was amazing. What are you talking about?" And then after I talk with her, after we talk about it, by the end of it, I'm like, "Oh, wait, actually, you're right. The book was better than the movie. The movie was crap. Like, what was I was blinded." Like, that's what's great about having these conversations about people reading your books or watching the film, watching the TV show, whatever it is that as an artist that you produce, just getting the different perspectives and then people talking about it. That's like it's just amazing.
Honestly, and because art is, like I said, is a very subjective thing, and it
Mhm.
really brings discussion. It really brings out the life of the art, whether that's books, movies, plays,
Mhm.
musicals, anything, right? Because literally, that's the foundation of it. It brings something towards it, and what the audience can perceive it, like saying like a painting
Mhm.
like so let me give us so I can say like a random painting that you see in a museum, right? Museum, and you have three people views that same paint, that same painting. Literally, three people, those four people will have a different perception, idea on what that painting is. Even
Mhm.
though it's the same painting they're looking at, they're looking at the same painting, but they will have a different viewpoint of it.
Right.
That is the foundation of art. Art can bring out so many different layers of only one piece. That's the same thing with a book. A book, even though it has a linear story, has a thematic thing, a message on it, but it could tear out each layers of a discussion and how readers can sit back, sit down, read again, and pick up different things like wow.
Yes.
I didn't think of this before. Wow, I'm thinking of that new stuff about this that will bring in so many good, so many thoughtful, provoke um discussions of it. And that is for the readers. That's not for the authors to do. We already done the job. My
Mhm.
job was to write the book and put it out.
Mhm.
That book is now the book is now yours. The readers, you guys can have your space to discuss it, talk about it. That's your job now. My job is
Yeah.
done. So that's that. Then that's what I really love about it. I love to really just have my readers to have a their own interception, their own like their own like they can
Yeah.
interpret a story in a different light. And
Yeah.
that's what yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. Okay, final question I have for you is what advice do you have for aspiring authors? Other people who want to write, who haven't, they don't really know where to start or they're scared. Like, what is the best advice you can give someone?
Literally don't let fear overcome what your true potential is. The way I see it now, this philosophy that I or not philosophy. This is what I have that could really make something. Oh well, it's amazing. Imagine you have one book that you wrote, and you let 15 people read that book, right?
Mhm.
You know, after the fact, 14 of those people says the book is crap. It's not good. It's trash. Just give up, right? But you have that one person that comes to you personally. They're crying, saying, "This book changed my life. This book, it was amazing. It inspired me to write my own stories, and I love it. And now I want to read more of your works." that right there outshines everything that the 14 people will say about you because it's your story. Well, I'm saying like your story needs to be heard. Writers who are scared, who don't know where to go, literally, like I said before, there's no such thing as bad ideas.
Mhm.
A good idea will come in a random time, a point in your life where if it seems personal to you, personal, if it's something that comes close to home, write it. Your voice needs to be heard, and you do never know. You could inspire the next big author that reads your work. It's like a
I love
cycle,
that.
you know.
Yeah. Uh,
And
I love
what and the other thing I would say is that if you have a story right now they have in mind and then you don't know you're unsure about it. No, don't be unsure. Write it. Write it.
yeah.
Write it. Go ahead, write it right now. Write it right now. Because like you just never know how you never know what person needs to read that. And you never know what that story can bring out from you as a writer, as a person, how that story can impact something, can impact yourself, impact the audience, impact anything. Write what you love. The passion is still there. Don't fall into no like, I want to write for the trends. No, like
Right.
write what you love to. If you like reading sci-fi, write sci-fi. We like reading romance, write romance. If
Mhm.
you like reading horror, write a horror novel. Write whatever you want to write. Don't be scared to not to like, no, that's not the point. The point is you as a writer is you're building a foundation of your own voice and you're building your name and you're building something that is beautiful, and the fact that you are writing a book is amazing. Like that itself is great. Like the fact that you
Yeah.
wrote a book is crazy. In fact,
Yeah.
and like the fact that you want to write a book is still amazing. Like go ahead, do that. Do it. Please. Every
Yeah.
writer watching this, please write your book. Write it.
I love it. And then also, if you want to read a book that you cannot find anywhere, then write it. And I'm pretty sure you can
Exactly.
say that with yours. If you want to, you're like, look, I could not find a Western vampire, so I wrote that. So there it is. It's coming.
Yeah,
Sometimes you got to write your own story if you really want it. I love
exactly.
that.
And that right there, that one there, that was great too. If you don't have a story that you can't read, write
Yeah. Look at us going full circle. We brought it back up again. This is amazing.
it. Amazing.
I love it. Okay, so before we wrap up and before I let you go, let's do a this or that. So this is a segment of the podcast we always do. I just got a couple random this or that's. You just pick the first one that comes to your mind. Okay.
Awesome. I'm ready. Go.
Plot first or character first?
Killers first.
Slow burn tension or fast chaotic action?
Dang.
I never make it easy. I specifically tailor my this or that for the authors, and I never make it easy for them. So they're never the same questions, just so you know.
Slow burn tension. There we go.
Okay. Writing the villain or writing the hero? You're like, dang, I hate these questions.
Writing the villain.
Yes, we love a villain. Okay. No hate to the heroes, but sometimes the villain is the favorite.
Right, for sure. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Listening to music while writing or total silence?
Oh yeah, listen to music while writing. Yeah, the music for sure.
Dark twisted themes or emotional character driven ones?
Emotional character ones.
Sci-fi brain benders or supernatural horror?
Dang, man. Cause like, why? Why you do to me? Okay.
I got you on that. I got you on that one.
Sci-fi brain bend. There you
Okay,
go.
let's go with that. You're like, for now, ask me again in July. Maybe it'll change.
For real.
Yeah,
Only.
you're like, it might change. Oh, I'll have completely different this or that question. So don't even expect the same ones. Fight scenes or emotional breakdown scenes?
Emotional breakdown scenes.
Endings that shock or endings that satisfy?
Any that shock.
Yes, facts. I love a good ending where I'm just like, I did not
For
see
real,
that.
yes,
You know what
honestly.
I'm saying? I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean that's how, what?
Yeah,
Those are the
exactly.
best. Because
Best
that
one.
alone could be satisfying. The shock
Yeah.
value alone is satisfying.
Only if done right.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah, because it could be done wrong. And then you're just like, what did I do? Like, I wasted how many
What
hours
happened?
reading
What
this?
is this, bro? What is this?
That's when you like end up throwing your book because you're like, what did I just read? Like, why did I read this?
I experienced that so many times, like, bro, what the heck is this, man?
It's the worst, and I'm somebody who does not like to DNF a book. I like to push through and read the book from beginning to end, but sometimes I'm just like, I cannot waste my time anymore. I
Oh,
have
yeah, for real.
other good books I need to read. Oh my gosh. Okay. That wraps up this episode. But before we go, Jalen, is there anything you like to plug? Social media, websites, events, other books you've got coming out, projects. This is your time to share it with everybody.
Awesome. Okay, so my official website is jalentellisbooks.com is where you guys can, look at all my works, all everything I have, and the cool little updates going on in there. And my medias, my Instagram is Jalen Tellis official, and that's the same thing with my threads, same name. And my upcoming novel, what's up, Damnation, the book of Malcolm comes out next year in July,
Yeah.
and that's the only book that will be out next year.
He
And
will be back. So he will be back on this podcast because we are going to talk about it for sure.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited. And go check out my other books. Incursion, my newer novel, Behind Closed Eyes, and my fantasy novella, The Black Samurai, and that's it.
Yay! I am definitely going to check out the other books for sure. Jalen, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Your mind, your world, and the way you create them is just wild in the best way. And I am so grateful that you were here to share with us. We cannot wait to see what you build next. And you are welcome back anytime. I'm already going to hit you up in the emails after this episode because I need you back for your next book.
I'm excited.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I hope you had a good time. I hope.
I did. Like, this was an amazing time. Thank you so much for bringing me on this podcast. It's been amazing. It's been a very honor opportunity, and I cannot wait to come back. I cannot wait for
I'm
sure. I can't
so
wait.
excited. To our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcast. It really helps us keep going on this podcast. And follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Official Page to Picture for book to screen updates, behind the scenes content, and more author interviews. Thank you again so much for being on. And to our listeners, we will catch you next time on Page to Picture. Thank you. Bye.